Kiss Alive is one of the most essential and greatest albums of all time. Is it possible people forget this? Maybe some are too young or just haven't been enlightened to the power of this live masterpiece. When I turn on SiriusXM, why are they playing the studio version of Rock and Roll All Night off of Dressed to Kill instead of the actual hit and far superior version of the song off of Alive? Like, why? When I open up my Apple Music app and go to Kiss, why do they list their first self-titled album and Hotter Than Hell as essential albums and not the band's best album, Alive? I mean, let's face it, Alive is Kiss's greatest record. I realize there are many significant problems currently going on in the world, but right now, these questions are some of the most concerning to me. Alive is one of my favorite and most emotionally important albums of my life. It's also one of the most influential albums ever made. By the summer of 1975, a small percentage of hard rock fans started to recognize that a band from New York called Kiss was one of the most exciting live acts out there. This was partly due to their superhero-like image, costumes, face paint, and high-energy, larger-than-life stage shows, which featured explosions, fire-breathing, blood-spitting, and more. I don't know if they had the confetti that early on, but they might have, I'm not sure. The other thing that made their concerts beyond exciting was their loud, raw, aggressive, well-played, in-your-face, hard and heavy rock. At this time in history, Kiss had great songs, a fantastic live show, a unique and dangerous image, at least by 1975 standards, and 3 studio albums that did not truly capture the excitement that the band delivered in concert. From their first self-titled album to Hotter Than Hell to Dressed to Kill, Kiss's production and recorded sound seemed to be improving slightly from album to album, but in general, it was still sleepy and soft compared to what they gave the fans in the live setting. After low to mediocre sales of the first 3 albums, Alive was a make-or-break album for this band. Kiss already had the songs, so what they did was take some of them and deliver them on a vinyl, cassette, and 8-track tape, which of course was called 8 tracks because it was 4 sides, and on each side you had 2 stereo tracks. That equals 8 tracks, get it? So anyways, now Kiss is delivering these great songs that they already had, but they're delivering it with louder guitars, more in-your-face drums, over-the-top vocals, and at times faster tempos. The band brought in Eddie Kramer, who had previously worked with Led Zeppelin, Blue Cheer, Jimi Hendrix, and even Kiss on one of their early demo tapes, to take their recorded sound to the next level. The band recorded some concerts, which ended up becoming the foundation for this so-called live record, but they also re-recorded lots of Alive in the studio. In my opinion, it doesn't matter how they made this album because the end result was total perfection. From the opening intro of "You wanted the best and you got it," that gave way to Deuce, those opening chords of Deuce into, Deuce sounds so freaking good on this record, all the way through the album closer, Let Me Go, Rock and Roll. Alive was a roller coaster ride that we kept riding over and over again via this 2-disc, groundbreaking live or not so live experience by the hottest band in the land, Kiss. On a personal note, as a young boy, I kept asking my parents to buy me a Kiss record after having seen them on TV numerous times, but instead they bought me Sean Cassidy, they bought me The Village People, which skipped and we had to return. I think they looked into Kiss and decided that maybe this band was not the greatest for a boy who was still in his single digits. After what I remember feeling like years, although honestly it could have been months, I came up with an alternate plan to score a Kiss album. Her name was Grandma Strigl, and in a phone call to her, she asked me what she could bring me as a gift when she came to visit in a couple weeks. This was my chance. I slowly and nonchalantly walked into the other room, away from my parents, while on the phone with her, pulling the springy coiled phone cord to its limits. I then whispered into the phone, "Grandma, I want a record by the rock and roll band Kiss." And soon I was in possession of my first Kiss album, Alive. Grandma told me that when she went to the record store, there was a young man there who helped her pick out the band's very best record. The rest is history. Thank you, Grandma Strigl. You changed my life, literally, with that with that album.